what even is luxury this season? There have been a lot of videos, mine included, all about fashion trends for fall/autumn, especially as the temperature starts to drop, right? However, this isn't a trends video. This is more of a video about individual specific luxury items, as well as sort of broader strategies/focus points I think we'll be seeing a lot of come fall/winter. Now, especially with Fashion Week starting for spring/summer 2026, it'll be interesting to also see if we start to see these trends, these themes continue into next year as well. Guys, if you're new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're probably going to love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Right. The first thing is the continued love affair between fashion and sport. Just some examples off the top of my head here. Louis Vuitton is in a partnership, I believe a 10-year-long partnership with Formula One Racing, all right? McLaren, yes. Who else? You've got Paris Saint-Germain and Dior, Real Madrid and Louis Vuitton, and then you've also even got Miu Miu and Coco Gauff, right? That collaboration would have launched or is launching this month. We've always seen sort of brand sponsorship of athletes, but now we're really seeing these sort of wider partnerships across, you know, just a outfit for a performance outfit, uniform. What is the sports uniform? You know what I mean, okay? What they're wearing on the fields. Anyway, clearly, really into sport myself. We're seeing this a lot. Now, not only do I suspect that this is definitely going to continue, but something that I think is connected and that is doing particularly well are the rise of sport-adjacent brands, or brands that kind of give that sporty vibe without you having to have a really sodding good backhand, right? And I'm talking about brands like Ralph Lauren and Lacoste. Ralph Lauren is absolutely killing it at the moment, right? And it's one of those brands that always is sort of ticking along in the background. It's always very well respected. You know what you're going there for. Cable knit or a shirt. What else? If I'm going to Ralph Lauren, I'm going for, you know, polo shirts, all of that, right? However, Ralph Lauren has been absolutely killing it. I just ordered this cable knit jumper. Well, it's like a jacket. It's a jacket, slightly padded. It's fantastic. Okay, I bought a size small for reference. So sodding good. There are so many gems there that you're like, oh my gosh, nestled in all of these pages, Ralph Lauren, you're killing it. Polo Ralph Lauren specifically, because there's different tiers at different price points, whatever. They also have an excellent military jacket. Look at the shoes. If you're looking for like a retro sporty-ish sneaker, as we know a load of the brands are doing, from Dries to Chloe to, oh my gosh, every sodding brand under the sun is the Louis Vuitton Sneakerina, okay? You look here and they've got these nylon versions, really great price point, really great shoes. They have a boxing version. I ordered it. I did return it, okay? Because I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, who the hell are you? And why did you think you could pull this off? But that's just a me thing. Aside from that, it's always chock full of good, and we know something like the bear sweater/jumper is always very popular. He's out there in his little different, you know, he had a Wimbledon one, I think. Okay, he's out here, he's going to all the events, having a great time. But that brand is doing particularly well. There's a number of reasons as to why, including price point, but I do think that focus on sport in general as a wider play within luxury has also built up or gotten the interest going for brands like this that sort of align themselves really closely to sports. Lacoste is the other one. Lacoste have a runway line that I don't think gets talked about enough, and also they don't tend to really push it enough. They need to. I went there because actually a subscriber commented on my Substack, thank you very much, about, shameless plug, the link is below, basically saying how Lacoste has got some goodies. I went looking straight. First thing I saw, this green corduroy set. Okay, there's an oversized corduroy shirt and a matching short that's got like an elasticated waistband. Together, fantastic. Separately, lots of options. Do I need this? Please let me know. I like it a lot. But keep your eyes open for these kinds of things. So I think a continued focus on Ralph Lauren specifically, the rise of Lacoste, and other sort of sports adjacency, maybe even Ferrari. That Ferrari fashion brand is weird to me. Like, how are you positioning yourself? Well, I know how you're positioning yourself because I looked at a pair of sunglasses and they were grand. So there's that. But how are you sort of like getting yourselves out there? That one I just have questions for. My second point that I think that we'll be seeing much more of a focus on is growth of smaller brands. Now, there was a Business of Fashion article called Luxury Has Lost the Plot and These Brands Are Picking Up the Slack. Very much worth reading, very much read it. The link will be below for easy access. But basically it's talking about how there is this emerging category of sort of like not quite luxury. I would deem some of these luxury definitely, but like upper tier contemporary brands that have really pinpointed a very specific style that's like minimalist, basics-y, we'll get back to it, at a price point just under those really big brands, right? So you've got brands here like Totem. Everybody loves Totem. Totem gives a lot of the Row vibes for not the Row money. It's a brand that a lot of people love. You also have TWP. If you're looking for shirts, shirting, work things, or like tailored pieces, they're great. Cal Meyer, a newish brand, and there's some good stuff actually in there, some of which we will be tackling in the rest of this video. Noor Hammour, they are an outerwear brand that already, I believe, you know, like it's already decently popular. I just went on there to see what, you know, was tickling the old fancy. There's something called the Sabine coat, mock croc embossed with this glorious shearling trim. I'm sorry, that's a rich woman with a hefty inheritance. I love that. It's very fun. It's like, it's got a little bit of cheekiness to it, but otherwise it is like a black coat, but it's cool. Now, the Thalia. I'm weird with denim jackets and I'm weird with leather jackets. This leather jacket, it almost looks like it's doubled up. So you have this double fastening that if the chill is really chilling in the air there, you can, do up the little turtleneck, and then you have the outer layer as well. Just really cool stuff. And again, the price point is sort of like, it's not cheap, but you can sort of be like, okay, I would say that that's generally a reasonable price for a luxury coat sort of thing. Christopher Esper as well. They've got some great dresses in. There is in particular a lilac short like mini dress with long sleeves. The whole back is out. What? It's kind of giving Tom Ford vibes that I particularly like. They also have like a cobalt blue. The whole side is cut out and then you have this sort of, it's an acrylic encased flower, I think, just like draped over just above the hip, the waist even. Christopher Esper's a good one. And it's not all just like show your body, but you know, there's some other stuff there. But these are the sorts of brands that I think, especially in response to pricing at some of those big luxury brands, people are turning to. And this group will get more and more attention. Off the back of this as well, exploration of smaller brands and designers in general, especially, yes, like as a response to prices, but also as a response to just wanting something a little bit different. Herbert Levine. New name came across my desk. Apparently this brand has been around like for ages, but it's sort of been laying dormant for the last 50 years. Recently it's got a new creative director, Trevor Houston. He is ex The Row. I'm sorry, these shoes are chic. Some of them, you know, are a little bit too, you know, not my vibe. The mules, they've got like the way that the toe is constructed there, there's a sculptural aspect, and they just look, the proportions and everything looks beautiful. Love the mules. They also have some that have like this, a pin pop of gold hardware. I saw that and I was like, excuse me, who is this? Add to the wish list now. And I also think, whilst not small brands, I think there's more of a focus or an attention on the comeback kids. I'm talking Givenchy under Sarah Burton, okay? These are still really expensive brands, but they're brands that do tend to offer a lot at a price point that is more approachable than some of the others. Celine under Michael Ryder as well. From what I've seen of the pricing of the luggage bags, which should be coming out into store anytime now, really, they could have done a lot worse with it. Okay, even I think Marnie is getting a lot of focus. This bag, the tulip, it's called the tulip something. That's getting a lot of attention. currently. It sort of gives Fendi Spy Bag, I was going to say a Fendi Spy Bag kind of vibe. Even a focus on Dries, right? I'm guilty of this. I've really not been looking at Dries up until now. Shock horror, I know. But again, it's pricey, but it's not at that crazy price point that a lot of the big brands are now charging. Even Willy Chavaria, okay? Like, new kid on the block. I will, however, say that I do think gatekeeping is on the rise. What do I mean by this? It's not intentional, okay? We're not just buying things to go, sorry, not for you. But I do think that with the rise of resale has just been growing and growing and growing, as it should, and it gives you access to these pieces that you thought, you know, were dashed from your dreams, and oh, I thought I'd never be able to buy this, and the collection had long gone, right? It gives you access to those pieces, and a lot of the times to, you know, more newer pieces at less than retail. So, however, what this means is, especially for those older pieces, vintage pieces, you can't just like go out and get them unless it's a particularly popular item, unless it's like a, I don't know, I want a vintage Chanel classic flap. Right, there's a load of them. But what I'm talking about is that there's more of a chance now of these like unique items, and because there's more access to get them, there's a lot more of like individuality and personal style, in the sense that you can't just go and copy somebody's look exactly. There's so much more education on resale, on vintage, on shopping, on the secondary market, that I think a lot of people feel more confident about it and are buying for the first time and things like this, which is great. But yes, it also means that in a good way, people, you know, these are pieces that are more unique, there's less of them floating around, and because of that, I think we will see more individuality in terms of style. For example, if somebody goes and buys a bag and you're, oh my gosh, that's such a cool, rare, off the top of my head, Fendi baguette. Okay, a vintage Fendi baguette. I can't find that one, but that might inspire me to go and find a rare Dior saddlebag that I had always thought about, or another Fendi baguette in a different style. So that's what I'm kind of talking about with this. So during Fashion Week, I think street style, we are going to be seeing less of like this is the big it item, and more vintage and like rare and deep cut kind of referencey pieces. Do you want to know what else I found out? Autumn is shoe season. I think I'm seeing much more, no, let me not say it with your chest, Cassie. I'm seeing much more of an interest in shoes than I am in bags currently. And I don't know if it's something in the air. I can feel it coming in the air. Thank you, Phil Collins. I don't know if it's that means that we are looking at, okay, right, seasonally, what's my shoe situation look like? But there is a high interest in loafers. I was already sort of seeing this about, and I have two examples here. One of which being Monday's video, which would have come out, which is luxury items that you are considering and whether or not I think they're a good purchase. A lot of loafer suggestions. The other one is Gab Waller in her hot list for Vogue also mentioned a specific pair of Celine loafers, they're sort of softer ones, that she's been getting a lot of requests for. It is loafer season, whether it is YSL, Gucci, these Celine ones. Who else has been doing a sort of loafery vibe? Prada. There's loads going around, and be prepared to see a lot of them on ankles. Now, a little announcement that I've been shouting for half of this year is the comeback of these slippers / mules, okay? Like backless shoes, clip-clopping around town, that level of comfort, business at the front, party in the back kind of situation. That is still prevalent. As we know, I have my Gucci crystal loafers, which I love, and I can't stop talking about from the rooftops. Look at Prada. Prada's done a lot of these. Specifically the leopard print ones are really nice. You've got a longer jean, the toe is peeking out, you're comfy, clip-clopping, good for you. Also, Herbert Levine that we were talking about earlier, they've got some... Oh, in terms of a loafer as well, Givenchy have come out with some new ones as well with like the tape sort of logo at the front. The Row had a pair of slippers that have sold out. You know, this is see more slippers. And whilst we're on the shoe thing, I've got this prediction. This video is like a weird menagerie of like predictions and specific items and whatever, but either way, I hope you're enjoying it. I think that we will be also seeing these like extra hardware pops on items more than usual. I would like to draw your attention to, listen, you know I'm not like a cowboy boot girl. I have never indulged in a cowboy boot. My closest cowboy boot is a pair of Chanel cowboy boots that literally just have this shape at the top of the boot. Anyway, I saw these Isabel Marant Mexia boots. And this might be the one. I feel like I need to try these. Look at the amount of hardware on this boot that really takes it to a different category, truly. This isn't just like any other sort of, and listen, when it comes to cowboy boots, I know people are very protective and, you know, like there are proper cowboy boots and all of that business. I'm talking about this from a luxury fashion standpoint. These feel very different. They also feel, to me, much easier to style, and they've got so much of a life of their own with all these extra golden buckles, and they're great. They're really, really great. Sculptural knits. Knitwear in autumn, groundbreaking, okay? This is something that you would hope to see every year. However, I am seeing or noticing a little bit of something with the knits in that we're going a little bit more sculptural. So, Alaya did these sort of like, how does one describe this? Sort of periscope shaped. Obviously, that one maybe isn't the one that we are buying and trotting around town with. JW Anderson does something semi-similar called like the bumper with a bumpery trim there. We're also seeing it by way of peplum. Jason Wu. There's also a brand called Bito, I think, Biro, who do this like, it's like made out of a heavy crepe. And again, it's got such structure by itself. Ashley or Ashlyn, I cannot remember the exact name of the brand, has done like a knitted, it's such a thick knit that it almost comes across as a jumper. That's got a little bit of hardware. Alaya also has a peplum cardigan. So this sort of like, it has a fit, it has a sculpt to it. It's not just like your usual sort of semi-oversized or, you know, true to form, something like this piece of knitwear. Also, capes, asymmetric drapery. Cal Meyer has this sort of asymmetrical, it's like a really great knitted top that has this sort of like little drape over one shoulder. I like that a lot. You'll see a lot of that. Even things like, I know Totem did the scarf coat and that is already a thing in itself. There are other brands doing very similar things with a scarf integration into the coat that gives that sort of cape-like, you know, dramatic moment as you're walking. It's very sort of like Rick Owensy. Entire Studios has a lot of knitwear that's either got this sort of like tubing that you can fold down over your shoulders like a little sort of cape-like moment, or asymmetry going on. Burberry's got capes. It's a capey fall. There is also still going to be a massive and growing focus on the fine jewellery market. I did a whole video about how sort of we're shifting a little bit from luxury fashion more towards fine jewellery and why that's happening, and I will have that linked. But I think that this is a continued thing. I think more people are going to start to focus on their fine jewellery, what their fine jewellery style looks like to them, and hopefully, because you know that I love independent jewellery designers, hopefully start to shine a light on more different kind of jewellery designers, different kinds of styles, maybe something more fun, or maybe something that's more, you know, about gemstones than the usual diamonds, and all of these different options. I mean, look at a brand like Prada, okay? They've got their fine jewellery. Here we are, right? Bracelets and whatnot. I don't know how it's doing. I've got not a clue. Right, rings. Just first one up rest. Oh, okay, interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see this happen more. I also think specifically pendants. I think pendants because they're easy to be worn over knits, over a jacket or a top or something like that. I think pendants are going to be a thing and a focus. And finally, little luxuries. This is obviously, you know, the economy, all of that business, but I think that we are going to be seeing much more of a focus, and I think this is why it's happening with shoes more. It tends to be a lesser price point category that you can still indulge in. But I feel gloves are going to be a big one. And again, I've been tooting this horn for a while. Leather gloves, but with a point of difference. Fendi have these like chevron sort of sort of chevron-y, that kind of one. Bottega has the intrecciato weave. Dior even has one that has like a saddle-like pocket on the top of it. These are, again, these are expensive little luxuries, but compared to other categories, it is more approachable. So I think that those are going to be doing particularly well. Belts. Belts is going to be a massive category for fall. I've already talked about this in like trend videos, but I think that, again, them having some sort of statement-y, hardware, western-y kind of feel. Versace has this excellent one that is part of their new collection. I love it. It's very sort of 90s Gianni Versace. I also want to talk about Givenchy. Givenchy has these belts with just like a gold simple metal plate, like those, but I also like the red fabric one that has the white like fabric label on it. I think that's different and interesting. Obviously, around like Sculptural, incredible belts are up the wazoo. So there we go. Those are my sort of like, I don't even know what this was. It was sort of like predictions-y, keep your eyes out, specific items I wanted to highlight. Let me know if anything caught your eye, or if you disagree with anything. Let me know if anything caught your eye, or if there's anything that you are not looking forward to. I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are, and in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.